Father Barron. Blessed John Henry Newman once said, "To be deep in history is to cease to be Protestant." As a longtime atheist and now Catholic, I found a lot about history after my conversion. And one of those things I found was that history had been redacted in a very Orwellian factor to remove the Catholic Church from Western civilization. The removal of the Church is the case of the dogma that did not bark. Considering that you're doing the Catholicism project, I was wondering if you would consider the corollary to be deep in history is to cease to be secular, to have some truth in it.
Well, maybe I'd say this. I think I know what Newman means when he says to be deep in history is to stop being Protestant, because the more you go into history of the church and its thought, the more you're going to find Catholic elements. Because to some degree, he knew that the Protestant movement depends upon a peculiar reading of history, whereby, in 1517, everything kind of began anew. And that's deeply problematic, obviously. The thing about secularism, though, there is something to that. To go deep into history is to find nothing but religion. What I mean is, the culture we have now in the West, which is increasingly a truly secular culture, is unique in the history of humanity, as far as we can tell. There's never been a culture that is not, to some fundamental degree, ordered to religion. And so in that sense, to go back into history, let's say from the early 20th century all the way back, you're going to find nothing but religion at or near the center of every culture. And so I think a thoughtful person might say, God, maybe we're the weird ones. There's a myth of progress that says that whatever is modern is good or better than what came before. Anyone that's sensitive to the arts, to poetry, to philosophy, and so on, knows that's false. I mean, it's by no means self-evident that a poet writing today is better than Dante or Shakespeare. In fact, almost the opposite. It's by no means clear that a painter working today is better than Michelangelo. I mean, so it just doesn't, that myth of progress doesn't apply in the arts. So I would say a fortiori in regard to religion, it's by no means the case that what's contemporary, what's trendy now, this sort of Western secularism, is better than every culture that preceded it, every cultural form. So in that sense, I could maybe see how a turn to history is a turn against secularism.